What's up, everybody? It's Heat Override, and I'm ready to bring the pain for you and Dr. Roto this week. Ooh, yeah! If you haven't been over to the site, we have tons of waiver wire articles dropping, tons of news. We got Doc's prescription notes that hits every single week. We got everybody's thoughts to make your fantasy football teams better. However, let's get to the Heat-tastic Hot Hits review. Week 6. I'm ready and I'm jacked up. Man, we had some more injuries go down. Now we got David Carr injured, and it ain't looking good. And at the same time, we're sitting here wondering, what can we do? So at the end, I'm going to be reviewing my hard hits in two picks. Article from today, one player. You'll be super excited to learn about this player because he's not really owned. He's around 12% owned in most leagues. That gives you a chance while everybody's doing the waiver wire jumble to grab this dude. And you're going to love him because he's been putting it out for you for a team all year long. And the 12% that have had him have benefited from having consistent play. And being consistent in fantasy football is the key. Let's get ready to it. Let's get ready to bring the pain. Look, so I'm not going to review the Monday night because now I don't have baseball to talk about anymore. But I got news to talk about. I got news like the Jets head coach, ex-head coach, Robert Saleh, getting canned. And why? Why does this happen yet again to another coach? Well, I'll tell you why. Being 20 and 36. Now, that doesn't give you any way, shape, or form out that Zach Taylor, or not Zach Taylor, but Zach Wilson. I'll get to Zach Taylor in a minute. Yeah, that's a little preview. But Zach Wilson was performing at the same level that Aaron Rodgers practically was at. You have a good defense. You have Garrett Wilson. You have Breece Hall. You got everything you need. Even Conklin at tight end. You have a good line. And the defense is not, they're stopping people finally. But at the same time, the offense isn't doing anything. Nada, nil, nilch. Garrett Wilson, people, are done with him. And then he finally puts out a good game and catches a touchdown. That might make you feel good, but it's not warranted. This all goes down to the Aaron Rodgers effect. And look, I don't care. I think Aaron Rodgers is a good quarterback. He did what he did. Of course, he walked to a Super Bowl. We all know that. He didn't have really anybody to play for him by the time he got there. He played a good team. But when you're fresh and you get to a Super Bowl like that, maybe you should win. But at the same time, that's what he did. He has a historic past. I'm not putting Aaron Rodgers down. So please, hey, you want to come after me, then come after me. But at the same time, what got Saleh fired was his tensions with Aaron Rodgers. They should have knew from the go that Aaron Rodgers was going to favor Al Lazard more than Garrett Wilson, more than Tyler Conklin, more than Mike Williams, more than Breece Hall, more. And that is who Aaron Rodgers is. He's not the stick it to you guy. He is this was happening back when Greg Jennings was a wide receiver. And Greg Jennings was one of my favorite receivers I would keep year to year because of Rodgers. But my boy who always kept Aaron Rodgers would always go after, like the rest of the guys who would ever be on the team at that time, man. James Jones. Man, don't even get me started about James Jones. Dude was drafting James Jones in the first round. Why? Because James Jones is Alan Lazard. And he's only that because Aaron Rodgers makes it. So when all you Garrett Wilson people keep looking at it and seeing it go down, you're like, why isn't Garrett Wilson getting work? Why isn't he getting to work? Well, he's getting it. He just doesn't want to pass it to him. And that's why in a lot of fantasy football teams this year, I drafted Mike Williams because I know that Aaron Rodgers is just that dude. And when you go butt heads with Aaron Rodgers, who could be retired by now, but he isn't, instead, he's fighting with coaches trying to make a name for themselves and getting them fired. Now, Robert Saleh did plenty to get fired himself. That record, the bad decisions, bringing in backups, having to go, and just the whole debacle last year. Literally, you brought in somebody to replace your dude, and he gets hurt in the first play, and you're stuck with your dude, that just doesn't taste right to a lot of people. And sometimes you get a game like what you saw this weekend. And what happened in a lot of people, if you want to be on the conspiracy side of things, are saying that they tainted that game and they're picking out certain plays that people were just dropping to the ground and doing all sorts of wonky stuff. Well, I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about why coaches get fired. That's why coaches get fired. You're fighting with your quarterback. You're not doing anything. You're sitting on the sideline like this. For all the people who are listening audio wise, you did not see that face. It's pretty much just tighten your lips and stick your chest out. Yeah. Woo. And that's all he did. That's all he did. At least with the Rams and McVay, when they're just beat, he admits he just gives up. My game plan's out. I'm done. Right? But McVay made Jordan Whittington look like Puka Nacua, look like Cooper Kupp. How can they do that? And they did it with Goff. They do it better with Stafford. Regardless, how do they do it? It's the system, people. And if you have a good system, it works. Robert Saleh didn't have a system. He didn't have a system at all. And he let Aaron Rodgers come in and step all over him. And that's why you're at where you're at. You were so much fire when you were the Niners with the Niners. And you had that fire gut. That's what got you hired. And then you went to the Jets. And it's like that person that works really hard for the raise. They get the raise and they sit there with their feet up the whole time while the whole company burns down. That's the New York Jets. But does anybody really expect anything more of the Jets? When everybody was like, well, they've got the best roster, that blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but do they have the best coaching? Do they have the best staff to put it together to bring that talent out? It's a no. It's a big no. And it shows now. Now you got to fight to win your season. And you get Buffalo coming to town. Buffalo, who has been on the slide, and Josh Allen, who is in a concussion, getting salted on the field to wake up. Like, I don't know what's going on, but this is the fact. Buffalo is going to win that game, and Josh Allen is going to play big because the Jets are going to be in shambles now. They're going to be broke down, beaten, and they still got a good team. Yes, they can beat the Bills. I'm not going to say any given Sunday, but the Bills got a lot more to play for. Now the Jets are kind of roasted. And that goes back. It's almost like the Bambino's curse on the Sox. It's almost like the Jets, since Namath made that big, 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 bold move and it fell through, the Jets have been on a 45-year boom down the hills. We're talking Millennium Force. And it's not stopping. They had Curtis Martin and he couldn't do anything. They couldn't get past anybody. And that is why bad organizations like the Browns and Stefanski's going bad. That dude's going to be fired next week if he's not fired by the end of this week. Okay, we'll get into it. But let's go. Zach Taylor, 38-48-1 regular season, 5-2 in the playoffs. Dude has done everything he needs to since he's left the Rams to do what he needs to do. And unfortunately, this team has so much talent on it. There's no reason for them to be doing what they're doing. You gave up a big lead to the Ravens, who are built to own a lead and not come from behind. Yet they came behind. Lamar got you, boys. He got you. And then that's what happens when you're starting to lose your team. Kind of like what happened with the Jets. He is going down right now, and nobody knows it. That defense is atrocious, and it should be better when you have like Hendrickson and you have that whole line and Wilson. Like, they're just not putting it together. And now we're stuck here, and you're looking at these scores and the big win. Oh, by the way, I will say the Bengals did one thing. Congratulations, Danger. If anybody would have been in the subs only Discord on Sunday, they would have heard Doc and Danger talking about Rashard Bateman and Darius Slayton. It was nail on. It was good. I swayed. But when I looked at the percentages, they got Rashard Bateman at 0.33 in a GPP. Also, in another GPP, well, looking at his percentages, he got Slayton I think in a 1 or 3%. That's killer. And that information was available in the subs only Discord at Dr. Roto only. And that's the difference between winning a few dollars or doubling your money up or taking home what he took home. Great job, Danger. It's great to see you, brother. You know I always pull for you. Oh, yeah. That's why you joined Dr. Roto. We got the right prescription, right? Now, if he doesn't get his team together, bang. But you know who doesn't have a hold and it's just a bad, it's the Browns. The Browns. The whole Deshaun Watson trade was a fraud. It's disgusting. And it shows why if you leave football and you're out of football for a certain amount of time, the game passes you by. All these people talk about Colin Kaepernick had been coming back. Oh, he could outplay half the league. He could outplay half the league. The dude was a trash quarterback before he got benched for Blaine Gabbert. Did y'all forget that? And at the same time, he was away. That's why we're not bringing him back, because he can't adapt. And that is what's happening with Deshaun Watson, who actually was a bright star at one point. And now he's trash. He can't even make it to 200 yards. This dude is straight up lost. This has nothing to do with Nick. No, maybe having Nick Chubb take a lot off of him. But if Jerome Ford, who is doing well, is doing what he needs to do to take everything off of you, then you should be able to perform. And he is clearly not performing at all at any type of level. So it's time. I can guarantee, well, I can't guarantee, but Jameis famous Winston could come in here and I bet he could throw a 300-yard game and 3 touchdowns. And that you could put and take it to the bank and cash it, because the day is going to come. The day is going to come. And his little bum ass comment where he said, we're sticking with Deshaun Watson. You have a good defense. You're going to lose and get fired like Robert Saleh. You're literally going to be the 20th coach in the past 20 years for the Browns. I know that might be all wrong. I am exaggerating because I'm sick and tired and fed up with bad coaching. Everybody is. There's no room for it. You see these idiot coaches calling out plays constantly to the same player, and they go, well, it wasn't really open for this guy, so we decided to go with him the whole game. Well, you know what? There's more than just that one guy over here. You have a couple other guys you could really work into the game, but they don't, and that's how bad coaches get fired. Hence, let's get back to McVay. McVay makes the Rams work, and because McVay makes it his system and his system only, that is why there's no confusion. Come in, run it. Whittington, bang. Robinson, bang. You can put anybody in there, bang. The Rams can do anything they want with that offense. And that is the true sign of a great coach. And unfortunately, all those other coaches I've talked about have not only lost to him, but also suck. Yeah. Woo! All right, let's get to it. Let's get to the hard hits and cool picks. Guy, who am I doing? Bro, if you haven't really sat it, you're going to learn him this week. He's going to do it, right? It's Deshaun Elliott. Yeah, we're talking 39 tackles, 1 interception, 2 stuffs, 3 passes defended, and 1 forced fumble. This dude is just constantly all over the field. He's got some penalties, but at 12% roster, like I said earlier in this, he is well open. Right now with the bye weeks, a lot of people are going to be going after offensive players. Heck, I just had to help my wife with quarterbacks because she got Mahomes off, she got injured quarterbacks, and then she got Russell Wilson because she's a Steeler fan. Well, that's another thing too. The Steelers will be starting Russell Wilson very soon. I think a lot of people are getting sick and tired of the Steelers not throwing. It's really easy to see that the Steelers are going to run the whole game. It's sad. But Tomlin will not get fired because Tomlin will implement his system. Maybe I'm wrong, but Fields is not going to win you a Super Bowl not throwing the ball. And you're not going to go into any stadium and do that. After what the Ravens did, the Ravens will beat the heck out of you if you try that stuff, right? So, because they're built practically the same. The only problem is that the Ravens have a better running back, and the Ravens have a better quarterback at the moment, and the Ravens have a better wide receiving staff at the moment. So Ravens really do have an edge on the Steelers, but the Steelers right now, man, losing that game, that was big. But Dallas is hard. Dallas was probably a lot more hungry in that game. But the Steelers had them reeling. They got to knock them out. They didn't throw the ball, and that's why you lose, right? But let's get to it. Deshaun Elliott has been all over the field. And what I do, if you take the stats are juicy. He's been getting you constant points every single game. Whether he gets an interception this game, a sack that game, or stuff, and then you're getting those pass defended. If people in your league credit those stats, then you're getting average points, and that is why Deshaun Elliott owners have been happy all season. Get to the site, hear more, get ready for my hit show of Bring the Pain this week. I can't wait to light some more teams up. Oh, and of course the Macho Pick of the Week. Ooh, yeah. And then of course the Ultra Contrarian Show. I'm a little mad at myself. I'm going to call myself out. I did not I love the team, but the fact that Seattle destroyed my Ultra Contrarian lineups, this is why I'm a Ram fan. I shouldn't be playing division foes. They go, oh, you shouldn't let your heart choose your fears. Well, Seattle really let a lot of people down. Green Bay and the Rams really didn't do anything. And this was a day you really had to be spot on because it didn't matter that I had Kyron Williams. You had to have those extra incentives. And scoring 130 points wasn't going to do it. 140 points wasn't going to do it, like winning the qualifier last week. I wasn't able to do that. It was just double up cash, and I went 1-1. Learned it. But definitely head over to Dr. Roto, check out all the articles, get ready to bring the pain to all of your competition this week. Use code WORKDOC. You will get a percentage off of your subscription. Get the RT Sports as well. Check out those contests. They're a lot smaller, more fun, and they're only single entry. So you don't have to play a million of some guy that's, throwing in all the generators. Have a great day, everybody, and always remember to bring the pain. May the tackles be with you.